Your dog is doing something right now that no other animal on Earth does. Not wolves, not cats, not the chimpanzees who share 98% of our DNA. Only dogs. And most owners have absolutely no idea what it actually is. You've probably noticed it. 2 in the morning, your dog has a perfectly good bed somewhere else in the house. Maybe 3 warm options. And yet, there they are, circling your mattress, collapsing against your legs, taking up exactly 80% of the space and leaving you the margins. Most people chalk it up to warmth, or habit, or call it clingy. Behavioral neuroscience says something completely different. What your dog is doing every single night is one of the most sophisticated expressions of evolutionary biology and neurochemistry that exists between any 2 species on this planet. Stay with me, because this is about to get genuinely strange. By the end of this video, you'll understand the oxytocin loop that no other animal shares with us, the 14,000-year-old burial that changed how scientists think about domestication, and why, if your dog suddenly stops sleeping next to you, you should take that seriously. Like this video right now, up front, before you've decided if it's worth it. I already did the work while you were asleep, so it's the least you can do. Let's start with the obvious explanation, because it sounds reasonable. Dogs get cold, you're warm, simple physics. But here's the problem with that theory. Your dog has access to sunny patches on the floor, the couch, a pile of your unwashed laundry, which, for the record, smells exactly like you and should be just as comforting. If warmth were the only variable, your dog has better options. So why you specifically? Because sleep is the most vulnerable state any animal can enter. Every survival instinct your dog carries, instincts inherited from thousands of years of predator-prey dynamics in the wild, tells them to find somewhere hidden, enclosed, and safe when they go unconscious. And instead of doing that, instead of wedging themselves under a table or in a closet, they walk past every quiet corner in your home and climb next to an animal 10 to 15 times their size. That's not about temperature. That's trust at a neurological level. In the 1990s, researchers at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest adapted the same attachment tests psychologists use to study human infants. Ainsworth's strange situation procedure, developed by Mary Ainsworth in 1969. The original test maps how a toddler responds when their caregiver leaves and returns. Budapest researchers ran the equivalent version with dogs and their owners. 51 dog-owner pairs. The findings were striking. Dogs displayed the same core attachment patterns found in human children: proximity seeking near the owner, distress when separated, reduced distress when a stranger attempted comfort, and relief upon reunion. 61% were classified as securely attached, nearly identical to the proportion found in human toddlers. This isn't metaphor. Dogs form a functionally equivalent bond to the one an infant forms with its mother. When your dog chooses to sleep beside you, they are performing the single most fundamental behavior in attachment psychology, seeking closeness to their safe person at the moment of maximum vulnerability. But here's where it stops being psychology and becomes chemistry. In 2015, a team led by Miho Nagasawa at Azabu University in Japan published a paper in Science, one of the highest impact journals in the world, measuring oxytocin levels in 30 dog-owner pairs during social interaction. Oxytocin is the neurochemical that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn for the first time. It's associated with bonding, trust, the sensation of safety. And what Nagasawa's team found was this. When a dog gazes at their owner, and the owner gazes back, both experience a simultaneous surge in oxytocin. The dog's levels go up, the owner's levels go up, which makes the owner want to engage more, which triggers more oxytocin in the dog. A self-reinforcing neurochemical loop across species. They ran the same test with wolves raised by humans from birth. The loop didn't activate, not even a trace. This co-evolved specifically between dogs and humans over thousands of years of living together, and physical contact amplifies it. Separate research has found that just 10 minutes of petting your dog produces measurable drops in cortisol, your primary stress hormone, in humans. Now, extrapolate that to 8 hours of sleeping pressed together. This brings up a question almost nobody thinks to ask. When did dogs and humans start sleeping next to each other? Not 1,000 years ago. Not even 5,000. The answer is, essentially, from the beginning of the relationship itself. Dogs are the only animal domesticated before agriculture. Before farming, before cities, before writing, roughly 15,000 years ago, wolves began approaching human camps. What drew them was food scraps and warmth from fires. The friendliest wolves, the ones with the lowest flight response, survived better. They tolerated proximity. They passed that tolerance to their offspring. Over generations, they weren't wolves anymore. In 1914, workers uncovering a quarry in Bonn-Oberkassel, Germany, found something that would eventually change how scientists understand domestication. A joint burial containing the remains of a man, a woman, and a dog, dated to 14,000 years ago. Later re-examination of the bones revealed a second, smaller dog. But the detail that reframes the entire picture came from the younger dog's teeth. The patterns in the enamel indicated the animal had survived multiple bouts of canine distemper, a disease that kills most infected animals within weeks. The dog was approximately 27 to 28 weeks old when it died, and the disease episodes had started around week 19. For the animal to have survived that long through repeated, severe illness, researchers concluded it had received intensive human care. Someone nursed that dog through 3 bouts of a near-fatal disease 14,000 years ago. These weren't tools. They weren't livestock. They were family. And this brings us to something geneticists discovered that nobody expected. Domestic dogs carry unique genetic insertions on chromosome 6, specifically in a region associated with hypersocial behavior and human-directed contact seeking. Wolves don't have them. A research team analyzing this found that variations in this chromosomal region aligned directly with how socially oriented individual dogs were. The comparable region in humans, when deleted rather than inserted, causes Williams-Buren syndrome, a condition characterized by extreme, almost indiscriminate friendliness and trust. Dogs were shaped, at the genetic level, to want to be near us, to seek physical contact, to bond. Your dog isn't doing something unusual when they climb into your bed. They're doing something that was selected for across 15,000 years of evolution. Now here's the study that confuses everyone the first time they hear it. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic measured the sleep quality of 40 healthy adults and their dogs over 7 nights using clinical-grade accelerometers on both the person and the animal. The objective data showed that dogs disrupted human sleep. Movement, repositioning, the 3 a.m. stretch that takes out your ankle. Physiologically, sleep efficiency was measurably lower with a dog in the bed compared to a dog in the room but off the bed. And yet, nearly every participant reported feeling more comfortable, more secure, and more rested when their dog was present. How is that possible? Christy Hoffman at Canisius College surveyed 962 adult women about their sleep habits and their bed partners, human, dog, and cat. Dogs were rated as less disruptive than human partners and significantly more comforting. The follow-up work used motion tracking to understand the mechanism. Owners were waking briefly every time the dog moved, but almost never remembered it in the morning. The physical interruptions were real. The felt experience of safety was stronger than the disruption itself. This is where it gets deep, because what this suggests is that the psychological benefit of sleeping beside a trusted companion, a warm, breathing presence your nervous system recognizes as safe, may actually matter more to restorative sleep than uninterrupted silence and darkness. For most of human evolutionary history, sleeping alone in a dark, enclosed room was not the norm. It was dangerous. We slept in groups. We slept with animals nearby. The isolated bedroom is a recent invention. Maybe your dog isn't degrading your sleep. Maybe they're restoring something older than any sleep hygiene protocol. In 2024, researchers at the University of Jyväskylä in Finland published findings from a study monitoring the heart rate variability of 30 dog owner pairs across multiple conditions. Heart rate variability, HRV, is a measure of how your autonomic nervous system is functioning. High HRV means you're relaxed and regulated. Low HRV means your stress response is active. And here's what they found. During every measured condition, the HRV patterns of dogs and their owners were correlated. When the owner was calm, the dog was calm. When the owner was stressed, the dog's physiology shifted in parallel. The synchronization was strongest during rest. They ran the same comparison with dogs and unfamiliar humans. No synchronization at all. This only happens within bonded pairs. What